Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Enderal. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you're chose to join me today here in the Starling City, and I think we might be in the main tower. We're currently looking for the Starling dude that made the ship that brought us here, and I found something over here. This lift that we can't see from here, because I need to look further right than we can. This lift looks like it has been recently used.
You're right, but why did he run off in the first place? That's just careless.
Couldn't agree more, but at least now we have a trail. Let's see if the lever still works.
It doesn't. I messed with it. That thing is smoking though. Okay, she's stronger than me. I'm sorry, Kelly. I didn't specialize in strength. You know that it's not a stat in this game. Seriously though, it worked. You're not busy, you did? Oh.
There you go. Then let's see where that leads.
Up. It leads up. Suppose oh. Okay. Okay, sort of stuck. I like how they're crouching. Just sort of, we're going up. I'm sort of bracing for impact. Oh no, we're bracing for... Oh, maybe we're gonna get rid of the sounds in the background. I think so. Nope. Maybe. Kalia, where are you? Oh, there you are. We're just going right now. She was so concerned about that guy that disappeared, that Kalia now. There's something wrong with this level. The volume is weird. Am I... Huh. Yeah. I don't know. Volume is weird and the arrows don't release immediately. You careful. God. There you go. I'll get your meat. These guys. Oh my God! I didn't see you there.
That was all of them.
For now. I could do without the rats, though. Sorry.
Let's take a look around. He must have gone somewhere.
Yeah, we're still looking for him. There's a thing over here.
That's what I call well hidden.
That's what I call very blatantly hidden. Or not hidden at all. It's like, oh, look at this! It's a door with a thing that opens the door. What's the word? The little knob. It's a door with a knob. Oh, that's so well hidden. Thought it was a wall. Yeah, it's true. For somebody that doesn't know what a door is, I guess a knob is a secret passage for... I suppose, yeah, that sort of works. I think we're going outside. Maybe
Kirash,
not.
this is beautiful.
No, this is outside.
What is this place, Magistra? Can you read the glyphs?
I'll try. Yes, that... Tower of Memories. That should be it.
Would she be able to read no the glyphs? Do we know? That's... yeah. So what are these crystals?
Good question. They look like energy sources, don't they? The same as the Pyreans used. And that power, it's immense.
They look like energy sources. You know, like gasoline or a battery. Tower of Memories. That sounds like the Starling version of the Chronicum to me. A place to gather knowledge? It's just what we need, isn't it?
Let me read some more. Blazes, this is tricky, but by Malphas. Yes! We got lucky. The prophetess was right.
I was?
This is an archive. The archive, to be precise. The gathered memories of the ancient Starlings.
But there's nothing here.
We will see about that. Come.
There's nothing here. I see plenty of things. Look at that. There's a slab. There's this blue bit. And then there's this circle and this sort of thing. Oh, crap. Ooh. click this. Oh my god, this is not gonna end well. Okay, I think it's stabilized. Maybe? I can't move. Okay, I think we're good.
That was unexpected. What now?
One moment. Ah, here.
Are you gonna send us back up? Oh no, that's gonna make us sick. Okay, let's look down.
Wait, what's happening here, Magister?
The Starling Prophecies were right. The ancient fathers have lived in this place for eras, maybe eons. And throughout the years, they
What's the
have
difference?
documented the rise and fall of every civilization. And we're just about to see their memories of the Pyreans.
Oh, that's cool. I like it. It's like in Mass Effect. So, did you say that the Starlings have been here since before the Pyreans?
Correct. And they witnessed all of it. Their creation, their bloom, and their downfall. The same goes for many, many cultures that were before them.
Yeah, but that's not what civilizations mean. Culture and civilization, and specifically species, are way different concepts from each other. So I guess it's basically empires. She means empires. That's what it always has meant. I suppose I could have figured that if I wanted to be ungenerous towards the game, but yeah, I guess it makes sense. So now that it's our turn, quote unquote, in the cycle, they have disappeared. Why?
Well, that's the big question, isn't it?
We don't
But
know
I
if
fear we have no time to wonder about that. At least not for the moment.
we don't know if they have. They're still the immortal people. They might just be everywhere around us. If they're timeless, they wouldn't be visible. It's just because, you know, light equals time and all that sort of stuff. Just the fact that they are outside of our reality alone, just you could write off any questions towards them not being here, just in a fantastical sense. I mean, of course, this is all literal, so they are really dead, and we know that for sure. So if the ancient Starlings have lived here so long, that means the cleansing somehow can't harm them?
Correct. And yet they never helped any of the civilizations that were extinguished by it.
How do you know?
Why? This is murder. If they know how to defend themselves against the High Ones, why didn't they share that knowledge?
Who knows? Maybe their hands were tied somehow.
We don't know that they didn't help them. They maybe offered to help. Maybe they did help. Maybe they changed the way they die. Instead of them dying, maybe they transported them into like the Dwemer in the Elder Scrolls. Instead of them having all died, they just got transported to somewhere, God knows where. There's so many options. Maybe they split the timeline into multiple different timelines. There's so many ways. We're dealing with magic here. We can't come to these assumptions. There's a pretty poor excuse for letting dozens of civilizations be murdered. Yeah. Well, and if you come with me with game, I'm talking to the game. If the game comes at me with that Prime Directive from Star Trek nonsense, like it doesn't work on Star Trek. It's never gonna work. Just don't. I will lend you. I've never seen Star Trek, but I know what the Prime Directive is, and I know the problems. So yeah.
Don't jump to conclusions. Have you ever wondered where the plans for the beacon came from? As
The
Arenthiel
Starlings.
said, its technology shares a lot of similarities with Kermai's starship. So maybe they did do something after all. But that's just speculation. What we do know is that neither the Red Madness, the High Ones, nor the Cleansing could harm them, and that their knowledge might be the key to completing the beacon.
That's also speculation.
Look at that.
That they couldn't harm
Welcome
them.
to the memories of the ancient fathers.
Also,
Let's
if
see what
they
we can learn from it. If
if
the
the
Grand Master was right about this, the Pyrean history should perfectly reflect the different phases of the cycle, including the cleansing.
But before I look at that, let me just say that if they wanted to make sure the cleansing happens, killing the Pyreans, sorry, not the Pyreans, the Starlings, considering that the Starlings can do something about the cycle, killing them would be the best thing to do. Well, not maybe the best, but a very good thing to... If you're trying to make sure the cleansing happens, kill the people that can stop it. Not the people that are going to be killed by it, necessarily, because the Starlings weren't. But, yeah, that's also speculation, what she said. Anyway, let's look at these pretty pictures. I say pictures, they're just bas-reliefs. Oh! Okay, are we looking at them, or... I think my torch got equipped automatically. Hi. Do I look at them for right now? I think I'm gonna look at them. So, that is mountains and 3 men and 1 woman with skulls on their heads and spears and sort of trees. Did they go left or did they go right? Well, what am I expecting from this game? They went right. Because that's how English is written. Let's see. So they had a city with gates and towers. That's not the same civilization, by the way. That's not the same empire, I should say. So are we talking about... See how confused the game is? Are we talking about species? Oh, the bas-relief is really cool, though. Oh, we interact with them. Okay, so yeah, you can see the city with the gates and the and all that. And then over here we have... Yeah, the bas-relief is really cool. This is not technically bas-relief. This is... there's another name for this. Because it's like well, it's not... A lot of it is bas-relief, but then there's these bits that just stick out, and that's not how bas-relief is made. You guys, don't turn... Should they be talking right now? Or are they just looking by themselves? I wanted your light. Anyway, what is this? Some fish heads. Or fish hats. And then over here we have horses and the Guernica painting. And then over here we have the other bit of the Guernica painting. And then on this side, we have people who learn how to fly. And there's upskirt shot. And okay, let's try.
That's the first step of the cycle. Out of nothing, life forms itself. And from that life, man evolves and starts populating the earth.
It's not even species, it's a full-blown biological ecosystem.
The second step of the cycle, just as the Grandmaster said. A first civilization arises, blossoms, and falls. For us, it was Asadaron's reign of the Eterna, which collapsed after Starfall. Who knows what it was in the age of the Pyreans?
It wasn't? Because you had to come back through here, didn't you? That makes no sense. That makes no sense.
That's... let me see.
Fish heads.
This is the creation of a theocracy. After the first civilization falls, a second one arises. That is reigned over by a few who proclaim themselves gods. Do you see the hats? These were the sun priests of the Pyrean realm, the equivalent of our Lightborn.
And also they are a patriarchy, just as your Lightborn, it seems.
That's step number 4, the downfall of the rulers. For us, it was the Shadow God and Narazul Aranthiel who killed the Lightborn.
I think
In
that's
the Pyrean age, it was this general, Jakal. He was a member of one of the reigning castes himself, but one day turned against them. The Archmagister told me all about it. He was the Pyrean Shadow God and the Pyrean Taranar Quarak, all in one, so to speak.
I understand. I think I understand. There's a way to understand this as making sense. Ah, man, I'm sorry I didn't think about it before. So what happens when the cycle is all life on Earth is killed? And when what they said here specifically regarding this is that from nothing starts life and all that sort of stuff. And this is basically supposed to be like the Neanderthal, not Neanderthal, because like Australopithecus and stuff like that. They do look pretty hunched. Or this one does, the other ones don't, but I don't know. So it's supposed to be like that. And the way that this makes sense is if you think evolution is a linear thing, a predetermined and linear thing, where this is behind on the evolutionary stage of people, of humans, behind this stage over here, and from here on out, they didn't necessarily evolve from a genetic standpoint, but societally, that's still absolutely misguided. But specifically, biologically speaking, evolution is not. That's not how. That's not. First off, it's not a linear thing. It's not from worse to better. That's not what it means, and that's why evolution. The name itself, evolution, doesn't work. It's called natural selection, unless it's not natural. But then it's just, you know, it's called natural selection because the ones that are better adapted to the environment, the natural environment, survive, and the ones that are not don't. And it happens over millions of years because the process of mutation is very random and specifically not linear, and it's just mostly a thing that happens because that's just how it works. You can see that as well working with human agriculture. It's not natural selection. It's certainly it certainly seems linear when you compare, for example, maize, the wild maize, to the maize that we have these days. You can compare it over the years and you see the evolution, but again, it's man-made selection and it works the same way. It's basically the same principle, except instead of people dying of dysentery, it's just a maize that doesn't get soon again because we don't like it as much. But that's how it explains this. That's why we keep getting the same civilizations over and over again with humans, despite the freaking fundamentals of life having been killed on the last little thing. We're gonna read about that in a little bit. So we heard about the fish heads. We heard about the general without a back of his head. That's a weird thing up there. Anyway, let's hear about the people who like hugging each other.
The chaos, the war, the red madness. This is the 5th step, where we are right now. Do you see this shape in the background? This must be the High Ones, who are behind all of it. The cycle nears its end.
I get the impression you're just seeing whatever you want to see at this point.
The 6th step. The cycle concludes, the cleansing happens, and mankind vanishes, just like that.
Vanishes, it's important.
Do you see this temple in the background? This must be the temple in the city of 1,000 floods, the heart of the Pyrean realm. And after the 6th step, it all starts over.
Yep.
So this is the final proof. Everything that has happened to the Pyreans, and probably to those before them too, is now happening to us.
I'm really glad, though, that I figured out why it's weird and why it didn't make sense, because it does. That's really great, actually. My problems with the Pyreans and what I was saying about... I kept rambling about it, about the Pyreans. I was expecting the Pyreans to be a completely different alien race, but they are humans. Well, they didn't look... The first one that we talked to didn't look like humans, and it was pretty hard. But they're the same race, and that's completely explained by a fundamental misunderstanding that the writers have regarding how natural selection works. But that's okay. I don't need them to understand biology. I'm fine with it. At least I understand how the freaking storyline works. I am really glad for that. I'm also really glad that it makes sense, because if it didn't make sense, it would be, well, it would make the game worse. And this way, it doesn't. Even though it should be explained early on that humans are destined. Humans that are like this are destined. I don't know how they'd explain it. Yeah, but still. Anyway. Well, we knew that already, didn't we? That's what I was saying. She's sort of just reading what she knows already in the things that, I mean, you could think that, I suppose. How exactly does that help us find the Nominos?
That's the question, but by the gods.
What?
Farewell, mankind. It ascends to the sky, to the High Ones.
The sky, the High Ones.
Mankind doesn't vanish at the end of a cycle. It becomes a High One.
Mankind. It'll bother me forever. That. Yeah. What?
That is how they reproduce. how they feed, or whatever you wish to call it. Don't you see? These shapes that ascend skywards. They're thoughts, our consciousness, our souls, and all of them together form a new High One.
So you are saying that what a High One really is the consciousness of an entire civilization?
Yes, it's our memories, our thoughts, our dark knowledge.
Not
our collective consciousness.
Certainly not ours.
This is monstrous.
We're not the Pyreans here, but I understand what she means. I wish you had a reason to know that, but I mean, she's just saying that. She knows that. She knows. Well, it's monstrous, is it? How is it? How is it monstrous? They don't die. They just sort of assume a different thing. It's like that specific ending of Deus Ex Invisible Wars. Although I might be biased on that. I don't think it's monstrous. I mean, it's done against... Yeah, it is monstrous. It's done against their will, specifically. And it eliminates... Yeah, I was forgetting about probably the main part of it all. It eliminates the personalities of people. So, the souls bit, let's forget about that. Souls don't exist in this setting. We haven't seen that. So what she means is really just the memories of people, as far as we can understand. Because they merge into one, which means that they are just really an overarching consciousness that is not representative of any one of these people, but more as a new one that is a high one. So yeah, it is. And it's, of course, you know, murder of an entire civilization. Although it is not new information. We knew it was monstrous in the sense that it's complete obliteration of life. So what's the cleansing? So that's what the cleansing really is. The creation of a new high one from a civilization.
Yes, by the righteous path, that's it. Korek is right. In a way, humanity does reach a new level of existence, because it becomes one of those beasts.
One of those beasts. It's there. Sure, beasts. Oh, right, because they're beasts. I forgot about that. I'm mixing... They're not beasts. They're just... They showed up as humans, and then they showed up as animals. What do you expect? There's just visions. I guess they're beasts. Let's just go with it, because she knows, even though she has no reason to know. But even knowing that, I'm gonna say, it still doesn't help us. We still don't know what this Dominos is.
Oh, yes, we do. The word of the dead.
Well, you do.
You said the aged man left it for you, didn't you?
Yeah, why?
Then this is the way. The Numinos. I know what it is. Or rather, what we need to fill it with. The essence of a high one.
The essence of a high one. Instead of asking what is an essence, I'm gonna ask you what makes you think that. Which is what I should be asking since we arrived. There's no answer for that, though. Apparently there's an answer for this one.
It's hard to explain.
Oh,
the problem with the high ones is that they don't have a physical shape, and this makes it hard to fight them. They are everywhere and nowhere, just like the air. This is why we need the beacon to fight it. It has the power to banish them.
Air has a physical shape. And she's not very good at physics. Because it is the counterpart of the high ones. That's old news. But what makes you think a high one's essence is what the Numinos needs to be filled with?
It's an assumption, but a well-grounded one. What the beacon does is channel massive amounts of energy and unleash it on its core. Isn't it logical, then, that we need something of what we want to banish? Like an energy signature inside it. It might sound far-fetched to you, but it feels right.
Yeah, it's called leaps of logic to further the plot. Come on, game. We don't need these many... Seriously, it's weird. In a game that's so filled already with so many MacGuffins that we need to get here and there and there and there. And in a game that doesn't even bother explaining how we come to conclusions regarding very, very contentious things that we are just told is true. She's now having qualms and trying to sort of force this whole thing down my throat and just be like, it feels right. It's hardly a good basis upon which to make such an important decision. Although, I don't know if it's the game or the writers becoming self-conscious and being like, I'm sort of telling the story that I wanted to tell, but there's really no reason for this to be the case, and I'm not telling the reason, so let's just add this here at the end so that the player feels vindicated in not believing any of this. But it's still true, because that's the story I want to tell, I'm saying, as speaking as a writer. I'm not sure if that's the case, though. Alright, even if this is true, how in the blazes are we supposed to get our hands on the essence of a high one? Also, what is an essence?
Well, this is where it gets complicated, but I think I also have an answer to that. The word of the dead. We need to use it on a high one, to enter its mind. If there is any place we can find a high one's essence, it is there.
Okay. But even if that would work, where are we supposed to find a high one? You said it yourself, Magistrate. They don't have a physical form, and even if they had, they surely wouldn't reveal themselves to us.
That is correct, but I know where to find one.
And with that, I am Colonel RPG, and this has been Enderal. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment, like the video if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later, but above all, thank you so much for watching, for listening to me, and also for telling me in the comments how you feel about any of this. We'll hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.